I think we can all agree that Marvel's line of Star Wars comics is pretty great. Even their bad ones are usually leaps and bounds better than the other superhero stuff Marvel puts out every month. The consensus seems to be that the best of the bunch was the Darth Vader series written by Kieran Gillen with art by Salvador Larroca, and with good reason. In addition to introducing some great new characters like Dr. Aphra and her killer droids, it re-established Darth Vader as one of the most terrifying villains in all of popular culture. After the movies started to make him more sympathetic and stripped away a lot of his mystery, these 25 issues did a lot to remind us that he is a violent, ruthless fear machine. Last week, Marvel announced they're going to be releasing a new Darth Vader series, this time taking place right after Anakin Skywalker turned into the Dark Lord of the Sith. And just like how Marvel was able to rehabilitate Darth Vader's classic trilogy era image, I have all the faith in the world that they'll be able to do the same to his prequel era image. In June of this year, Marvel will be releasing a new Darth Vader ongoing series written by Charles Soule and illustrated by Giuseppe Camuncoli. While the original Darth Vader series took place between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back right after the first Death Star blew up, this new series is going to take place right after Revenge of the Sith and chronicle Anakin Skywalker's first few moments as Darth Vader. And by first few moments as Vader, I mean this Darth Vader, not this Darth Vader. This puts us right in prequel territory. Granted, it's the end of the prequels, but it's still prequel territory nonetheless. This is an era that Marvel and Disney as a whole have pretty much steered clear of when they do expanding universe stuff. Generally, they're focusing on original trilogy era stories. I mean, can you blame them? I think it's pretty obvious why Disney would spend a lot of time focusing on the Star Wars people actually liked. But that's not to say they've never touched prequel era stuff. There was the Disney Infinity Starter Pack, there have been books like Dark Disciple, and there's even been Marvel stuff like Obi-Wan and Anakin in the recently released Darth Maul book. And now, Darth Vader. And if you remember your prequels, you might recall that this character pretty much got the short end of the stick. What was supposed to be the grand reveal of how a kid could become the most feared man in the galaxy wound up turning said man into a whiny teenager. And when he finally put on the Darth Vader costume, well, yeah. It was hard to believe that this guy would become this guy, and that's what made Marvel's first Darth Vader series such a revelation. It reminded us of what a badass Darth Vader really is. It reminded us that he's both feared and respected at the same time by not just the Empire, but pretty much everyone. He even stands up to Emperor Palpatine, his master, the one man he should be afraid of. He just doesn't give a f***. And even though this is coming from a new creative team, I'm confident that this is going to be the series that presents us the Darth Vader we wanted to see by the end of Revenge of the Sith. The first story arc is going to be about the construction of Vader's red lightsaber. Now, normally, this kind of stuff doesn't interest me. There are certain things about canon that we just don't need to see the beginning of. But I'll make an exception for this. A Jedi's lightsaber is a very personal thing, and the red crystal is synonymous with the dark side. So it'll be interesting to see how someone who's been teetering on the edge of going full evil finally embraces his new life. Also, I should note that Charles Soule has written most of Marvel's Star Wars books, so clearly they trust him with this property. Kieran Gillen did leave some pretty big shoes to fill, but I'm confident if anybody can follow in his footsteps, it's Soule. I'm normally not a fan of relaunching books like this. The first Darth Vader series ended only 5 months ago. Now Marvel is coming out announcing a brand new series with the same title and a new #1, when they could have just continued the old series. They do this with their superhero books all the time. And to be honest, I kind of wish they called it something else, like Darth Vader Year 1 or something to differentiate it further from the first volume. But that said, I'm still very much excited for this series. I've liked every single comic Marvel has put out in the Star Wars line, even the bad ones, and I'm confident this will be a great addition to the canon. But let me know down below or anywhere on the internet what you think about this new Darth Vader series. Are you excited for it? Would you rather have seen a continuation of the original series? Or do you think another character deserves his own ongoing? When Darth Maul's comic was announced, I did a video on other Star Wars characters I think should get their own ongoing first. I still stand by it, but this Darth Vader series sounds really good to me. And I don't think we're getting the Kyle Katarn ongoing anytime soon, so this will hopefully, scratch that itch. And I know technically it's not prequel era since it happens after Revenge of the Sith at the end of the prequel era, but I mean, come on, everything's gonna look like Revenge of the Sith in that book anyway. So to me, it's prequel era, but That's just me. In case you haven't noticed, this video was shot in 60 frames a second. So by video game logic, this is the best video I've ever done. And it was way better than Bob's earlier this week. Of course, we have new videos every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern is Wulff Den Live. You can come watch us and you can talk to us at the same time. If you don't want to do that, you can catch the rerun on Thursday and the audio version on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So you got options. And as always, like if you like, subscribe if you really like, share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.